When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fan fiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future updates that I do post on my community tab frequently. This is The Son of Brainiac, Part 9. Now let's continue where we last left off in our story. Endeavor ran towards Deku with pure anger and fury. Deku dodged Endeavor's initial attack. Someone needs to stand in a corner, as Deku is continuously to mock him. Deku kicked Endeavor, as the pro hero went sliding backwards from the force of the kick. Endeavor completely ignored the pain from the kick and charged forward once again. Endeavor activated his fire fist technique, creating fire on his knuckles, and began to throw punches at Deku. Deku did the same thing on his fist. Well, on his fist. The only difference is the fire that's on Deku's fist is green. As green fist met Endeavor's yellow fist, as the two, villain and hero, begin to collide with their fists, as there was a chain reaction, making Endeavor and Deku went sliding backwards from the chain reaction from their two different flames, making contact with each other. Let's see you copy this, villain. Endeavor threw his fire javelin at Deku. Deku rushed towards the fire javelin, then immediately stepped to the side. Then he went into a spin and grabbed the fire javelin with his bare hands and threw it back at Endeavor. With insane speed, Endeavor just had enough time to cross his arms to guard his upper chest and face. When Endeavor got hit by his own attack, he was blasted backwards. If it wasn't for Endeavor slamming his fist into the ground, he would have been launched into the wall right behind him. What kind of monster are you? The worst kind. Number 2. Deku flash stepped. When Deku was visible once again, he was in the process of throwing out his knee into Endeavor's face. Deku proceeded to duck under a right hook from Endeavor. After Deku landed a knee strike to his face. After ducking under the attack, Deku went into his slid and got behind Endeavor and shot out an energy beam out of the palm of his hand, making Endeavor get thrown across the arena. By the force of his energy blast that came out of the palm of his hand, Deku floated a mere inches away from the ground towards Endeavor with his hands behind his back in a very much like brainiac pose. Endeavor stared daggers at Deku and thrusted his hand towards him. unleashing a huge wave of fire, only for to endeavor to see Deku hand pass through his fire and grab onto his hand and squeeze, breaking Endeavor's hand, making Endeavor scream out in pain. Deku kicked Endeavor in the side of the head, sending him straight into the wall of the arena. Deku used his X-ray vision to locate the principal of the school. He easily found him. Deku extended his hand outwards towards the observing booth as Principal Nezu gets pulled through the window and right into Deku's hands as he has his hands wrapped around Nezu's neck. Principal Nezu, I presume. I have some questions. But that can wait until another time, as Deku took out a small injector and plunged it into Nezu's neck, making Principal Nezu lose consciousness. The Mark 1, 2, and 3 stopped killing and portaled out of the arena. Back to the base, Deku opened up a digital portal to his laboratory while holding onto the Principal Nezu by the neck and walked through his portal. The energy generator was portaled away as the energy dome disappeared alongside with his killing machines, Deku, and Principal Nezu himself. Shigaraki was completely shocked what he just saw. What he just saw just now was complete domination. He was glad Deku didn't kill All Might. He wants to do that himself. Shigaraki just realized how powerful Deku really is. He's not stupid. He could guarantee Deku was holding back. He needs to keep an eye on him, just in case he becomes a threat for the League in the future. But for now, he's been loyal. Deku walked into his laboratory and placed a talking animal in one of the small containment cells, and left to get back to his main laboratory. Dobby, Toga, and Mr. Compress, and Twice were speechless, watching their boss completely dominate the heroes, like they were mere children. Don't worry, Endeavor will recover eventually, but I can't say the same thing about his pride. Dobby has a smirk on his face. I got to say, I highly enjoyed watching you beat that bastard to a pulp. To see that bastard getting what's coming to him. Don't worry, his time will come soon. But I still can't believe you wrecked so many of these heroes. You managed to kill a good portion of them. I had to make a statement that they would never forget. You definitely made an impression, Leader-sama. What's our next move, sir? Nothing for now. We'll just sit back and watch the show. The heroes just received a devastating blow. Not only did I attack the sports vessel, I also killed many heroes and civilians. If that wasn't enough, I took the principal of UA, placed him in one of my containment cells. I have a feeling that talking rodent holds many secrets. But for now, I'll wait until he awakes. It was your plan all along, wasn't it? You were always going to capture, or basically kidnap, Principal Nezu. Of course it was. There's many things I don't know. I have a feeling All For One knows what type of quirk All Might possesses. If anyone would know about All Might's secrets, it would be that talking animal, or Gran Torino. According to my information, the three of them are quite close. He's the next person I'm going to visit. If Nezu doesn't tell me any information, then I'll use Gran Torino to deliver a message to All Might. I'm going to do that regardless if he talks or not. After all, if you truly want to hurt a hero, you target the ones they love. Break their spirit. Then you break their body. Then you kill them. Sometimes, boss, you scare the shit out of me. That's because I'm a monster after all. Matching Dobby's grin with his own. Boss, do you have any schemes in the works when the students from UA go to their internships? I wasn't originally, but I kinda want to make your old man life a living hell, because I find it quite amusing. Dobby couldn't help but laugh at that. Don't worry, I won't kill him. I'll leave that up to you. I just want to mess with him, that's all. I might hate the old man, but it seems like... Let's try this again. I might hate my old man, but it almost seems like you have it out for him. He has a stick up his ass. He's too arrogant for someone who's not even all that powerful. Compared to you, no one's powerful enough to challenge you. I don't even think this All For One could even be a match for you. I'm not too sure on that yet. I would have to fight him to see. I'll eventually find out sooner or later. After all, I plan to kill the man and the rest of his lackeys when they pose no longer useful. Just stick with your normal missions for the League. I want to see if they try anything during the internships. In the meantime, I'll entertain my guests. Curiosity, are you planning to kill the rodent? I have no intention of killing Principal Nezu. I simply want to have a nice little chat with him, without heroes interfering. It's not very often I get to talk to an intelligent creature that's pretty close to my intelligent level. I'm clearly more intelligent than the principal, but that's to be expected. But that doesn't discount his current intelligence. You might excuse me. I need to check on the principal. Deku put on his lab coat and walk out of the main laboratory to see his guest finally awake. Once Principal Nezu regained consciousness, he gazed at his surroundings, finding himself in some sort of containment cell with some sort of green energy shield blocking his path so he can't escape. It seems the energy shield is meant to use as a door. He easily calculated the panel across the wall controls the energy containment wall or door to his containment cell. He was very impressed by the level of technology. Oh dear, it seems I have been... What would they call this again? Ah, yes. I have been kidnapped. Oh, joyous. Nezu's a little too humorous of the situation. Excellent. You're awake, Principal. Deku, I presume. You've been making a name for yourself. I have. What I did at the sports festival was just business. It wasn't personal. I gotta say, those robots you brought at the sports festival were marvelous creations. Thank you for the compliment, Principal Nezu. The Void series is coming along quite nicely. Of course, as a man of science, they could always be improvements. Wouldn't you agree? I agree completely. I'm surprised you're not angry. After all, I did kill a lot of civilians and the heroes alike. Their deaths at the sports festival was regrettable. It was going to happen regardless. A villain attacked the sports festival itself. And I know we're on opposite sides. Regardless, villain attacks has only just been increasing. We might have the villain zone, but that was only a temporary fix. So I take it you kidnapped me for a reason. If you were going to kill me, I would already be dead. So you're after something else. Information. If I would have to take a wild guess. Deku smirked at his deduction. You're quite correct. I have no plans to hurt you. There's a lot of things evolving around the number one hero I wish to know. I know my boss is hiding things from me. He knows the nature of All Might's quirk. I can't have unknown knowledge to remain unknown to me. Exactly what you do with such information? Nothing really. I've become quite fascinated with the human race and their abilities you call quirks. I like to study them. As a scientist, I've studied many of the human race in the past. How you're speaking, it seems like you don't consider yourself human. I might look human, but that's where our similarity ends. I won't go into the details. That would ruin the surprise. Out of curiosity, did the League of Villains put you up to this? No. They had no part in this. This was all my doing. I might be an ally for them, for now. Like I said, All for One is keeping secrets. When it comes to his internal rival, All Might. I know your number one hero is getting weaker because of the injury on the side of his body that All for One caused. You're clearly well informed. That I am. Information is my specialty. So you're not going to use this information to kill the number one hero? Not by my hand, Principal Nezu. I have no intention of killing the number one hero. I don't even plan to kill the number two hero. That doesn't mean that others don't want to kill them. Don't have to worry about me killing them. That pleasure belongs to another. Quite open in your intentions, Deku. It doesn't matter to me. If my true intentions are known, it would be far too late for any of you to do anything. In other words, You can't stop me. You're all powerless. Nezu immediately felt a ominous feeling coming from Deku. He might not have any facial expressions, but the way he said it was no emotion. Nezu believes that he believes what he says. Nezu now realizes this villain is clearly dangerous and unhinged. Nezu's animal instinct is telling him that this villain is extremely dangerous. And that little display at the sports festival just proved that. He is right to be wary of the villain. But yet, even if he doesn't tell this villain any information, he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Eventually. Most likely be informed sooner or later by All For One. He doesn't know why All For One hasn't told him, but it must be need to know basics. Need to know on basis. Sorry to waste your time, Deku. I can't reveal such secret information. It would compromise my trust with the #1 hero and everyone that's involved. That's quite alright. A stockpile quirk that's been passed on through the generations, through Hero. Passing a torch, so to say. Interesting. Nezu's eyes widen. How? It was quite easy to get the information out of you. After all, you were thinking it, so I just dived into your mind for a brief couple of seconds. Your thoughts told me everything I need to know. Thank you for the information. It's indeed making things a lot more clearer. But I couldn't get all the information from you that I wanted when I dove into your mind. Your mind is very guarded against mental attacks. Impressive. I'll find out who Yagi Toshinori's successor is on my own. Thanks for the talk, Principal Nezu. As a portal opened up beneath Nezu, once he exited the portal, Nezu fell on his chair in his office at UA. Deku walked away from the containment cell and went back to the main laboratory to process all the information he just received from diving into Nezu's mind. Deku pondered the identity of All Might's successor. It could be anyone from Class 1A, even someone from Class 1B. I didn't see any of the students display a superior strength. This successor has no control over the new quirk, or they just didn't use it on purpose during the sports festival. Most likely trying to keep the fact that their All Might successor a well-kept secret. It's clearly not common knowledge that All Might's quirk can be passed on to user to user. That would make sense. All Might had a close relationship with Nana Shimura. She must have had the quirk prior to All Might. She most likely passed it on to him after her death at the hands of One for All. Deku began to formulate a plan in his mind once he learned the identity of All Might's successor. She will clearly provide him with some entertainment in the future, as Deku is formulating a scheme as he has a devilish grin on his face. I just need 3 heroes. 3 hero volunteers. Whoever is the successor is definitely on the top of the list. Bakugo would be a good addition, and Mina would be a good choice as well. She definitely impressed me during the sports festival. I want to see them more in combat scenarios. Good thing I placed a tracker on Bakugo, Mina. They're too small to be even noticed. So I'll know where those twos are. I'll know where those two heroes are at all times. They're not heroes yet, but they're getting there. The only mystery is who is the who is the who is the successor. Deku was thinking, with his fist under his side of his chin, staring at the blank monitor on one of his computer screens in the main laboratory. I don't think power would be a factor in choosing a proper successor. I don't think that's what the quality All Might's looking at when he's passing on his quirk to the next generation. The mindset must be important. All Might would definitely not pick anyone that has a mindset like Endeavor, cocky, arrogant. If not power, what he looks in for a successor, it must have to evolve around heroism and a drive, unbreakable drive, to rescue people. Plus Ultra, like he likes to say. That definitely fits All Might's description to a T. But who has that quality? I highly doubt Bakugo would be a candidate. He definitely has power, but he's too rash, and he's easily to succumb to anger too much. Araka showed great courage. He's not going to cross her off the list just yet. She could be a candidate. If you got up, it's about time I deal with the other villain factors in the villain zone. They've lived long enough. I know the League and the Yakuzas. I know there's a League and the Yakuzas. And the fact that that woman, Inko, runs her own villain organization. But the last organization is a completely unknown to me. Hasn't considered the Liberation Army, or whatever they're called, to be one of the major factors in the villain zone. Deku never really tried to remember the name of that organization. He's going to have to kill them, or sooner or later. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Whatever they call themselves. It doesn't change the fact that they're going to die. Deku decided he'll try to be nicer when he's dealing with Inko. She might be a human, but that doesn't make her any less dangerous. Not to him, of course, but to others. Would be not so lucky. Alliance with this woman would be necessary. But at the same time, Deku doesn't need her to progress his plans. But it would be nice to have an ally. More than his small group. If Inko poses a problem, he'll kill her without a second thought. There's no reason to be hostile if they're not interfering in his plans. Deku's unsure how she would react if she found out what he really is and what he's planning to do on this planet. But he has no intention of revealing such information for the time being. It all depends on the next meeting they have with each other, if he's going to tell her the full story. He'll just have to wait and see. 4 days before the internships, Deku opened a digital portal onto empty streets in the villain zone. Once the portal was open, Davi was by his side. Thought I'll tag along this time, boss. So what's the plan? We're going to take care of all the other villain factions. I know at least one of them we might be able to make an alliance with, but the other two, we're to eradicate them completely. One of them is the Yakuzas. Someone named Overhaul took command. Unfortunately, I don't have any information on the last group. So I guess the plan is to cause a bit of havoc, to draw them out, while we're in their territory. Barbaric, but effective. We'll go with that plan for now. We're currently in the League of Villains territory. The mysterious villain group is on the other side of the villain zone. Couldn't we just teleport to the location, sir? We could, but that would be too boring. Who knows, we might actually run into some trouble on the way. Copy that, boss. How much were you holding back at the sports festival? A lot of my power. There's not anyone on this planet that could possibly take me down. I'm basically a god. I'm basically on god mode. If I were to use video game reference to describe my situation. I'm just glad I'm on your side. I have no doubt you would kill me. There's no right, good, bad side. You just have to be on the side where you won't share the fate with the general population of this planet. Once my business is done on this planet and concluded, I'll finally be on my way to my main goal. I'm good with needing to know on known basis. I'm not going to pretend to understand what's all out there, waiting for us in the wide galaxy. All you need to know is there's aliens out there that's either on par with me or even stronger. I'm nowhere near my full power or my potential. I'm slowly getting more powerful. Once I achieve my full evolutions, no one will be able to stop me. Dobby kept his question to himself from the comment of his achieving his full evolution, and the way he phrased it, it almost sounded like he said plural, more than one. He knows better to dig into his boss's business. He has full confidence in his abilities, but he's not stupid enough. He knows his boss would kill him fairly easy, if Deku ever wanted to. After all, he saw him manhandle the #1 hero like he was a mere child at the sports festival, and totally embarrass his father on national TV. That mental image of his father being embarrassed put a grin on his face. They finally walked out of the League of Villains territory and ended up in Inko's territory. Well, I knew you would come eventually, as Inko stepped out of the shadows of the alleyway, making Davi get on guard, ready to attack on the slightest hint of hostility. Just the woman I wanted to see. Stand down, Davi. There will be plenty of time for violence and chaos later. I do apologize for my friend here. It's quite alright, dear. I got to say, I'm highly impressed by your activities recently, especially the sports festival. Quite an impact you made. So you caught that little display. Sweetheart, the entire world caught that display. You're quite the terrifying person. Impressive, nevertheless, but terrifying. I had to make a statement. You sure made that statement loud and clear, my dear. I have no doubt we have things to talk about. Let's go somewhere more comfortable so we won't be overheard. Who knows who is listening? Very well. Dobby, follow. Dobby gave Deku a nod, an acknowledgement, and followed Deku and Inko. Deku and Dobby followed Inko down a couple of street alleyways, entering a few buildings. There was only one singular elevator. All three of them stepped inside. Inko pressed the only button in the elevator cart. As the elevator begins to descend down, when the elevator doors open, Deku entered a huge bunker headquarters. Welcome to our mini headquarters that we have scattered all around my territory for obvious reasons. I can't take you to my main headquarters. Secrets and all that. I completely understand. I do the same thing. Only my people know where I operate. Not even the League of Villains are privy to that knowledge. You never struck me as the follow type. You're no mere grunt or soldier. You're a juggernaut through and through. You're the adequate version of a heavy hitter like Miraka. After all, you completely and utterly embarrassed the number one hero and the second number hero on public television. That was broadcast worldwide, by the way. You definitely have more than one reason that you attacked a sports festival, I presume. I can't deny the sports festival was used to further my plans on several different levels. Deku and his second in command, Dobby, followed Inko through the underground bunker headquarters until they enter a large room where there's a window showing several of Inko's people mining the rocks to expand the area so they could add more to the underground bunker base. Deku walked towards the window and gazed upon the humans mining the rock. Dobby just leaned to the side against the wall, letting his boss take charge. After all, Dobby's no diplomat. The reason why I brought you here, I know you're scheming and plotting something. I just don't know what it is. I would rather be on the right side of things when you do finally act, whatever you're planning. I'm no idiot. You're dangerous. You're highly intelligent. You're able to produce unthinkable levels of technology, like those killing machines you had with you at the sports festival. I've never seen robots like that in that event. Your killing machines look like something out of a science fiction novel. Right to be suspicious, as Deku, still gazing out of the window toward all the humans mining, have Deku having his back against Inko, who is sitting right behind her desk. If my father was in my place, he would have used you and your people, and most likely manipulated you. Then when you were no longer useful, get rid of you. But lucky for you, I'm not my father. If I want someone dead, I will kill them. No reason to use manipulation. I'm fully capable of making allies without stabbing them in the back. I'm a lot of things: a monster, a villain, a bringer of death. But I won't stain my honor as a warrior and a scientist. My word is my word is the law. I have questions for you, Inko. What do you hold most dear? As you, as Deku is saying this without even looking back at her, still still staring upon still staring down upon the humans, with his hands behind his back, much like his father in one of his poses. That would be my dear daughter. Her safety and well-being is my main priority. Me being a villain is to ensure my daughter's well-being in the first place, and I'm good at it. Deku has a small smile on his face, visible, but Inko couldn't really see it because of the metal face guard covering the bottom part of his face. What I have planned succeeds the League of Villains. Once they have victory in their grasp, then I will act and kill them. Out of everyone on this planet, know who I am, or specifically what I am. After all, you've been in my mind. So I was right. You're not human. Your mind was something I've never seen before. I've entered many other people's minds, but your mind works completely differently. If I didn't know how different your mind was and how it's structured, I wouldn't believe you when you said you're not human, but I know better. You hit the mark right on. You were right. I'm indeed not a human. What I'm about to tell you is not out of trust. I just want to let you know what you're getting into. I don't hate you, Inko. It would be unfortunate if we found ourselves on the opposite side of things. But we're getting off topic. My father, Brainiac, conqueror of sort, going around planet to planet, gathering all their knowledge and information, then shrinking their cities and adding them to his collection. Originally set his sights on a planet called Earth, but no matter how many times he tried to conquer this singular planet, he would fail every time. From his failures, he came to a decision to have me created his son. The names I use since I've been on this planet, Deku, Izuku, Midoriya, I kinda have to apologize for the last name of my civilian name. I do apologize for that. My true designation is Brainiac 1, but I prefer Deku personally. I'm what you call a biological android. I won't bore you with all the scientific methods that were used in my creation. And I have a sinking feeling you're not here for world peace, Deku. No, far from it. I plan to invade this world once I have all the information I need from your culture of these versions of humans, of the human race that's on this planet. Wait, are you telling me there's other humans out there? Indeed. You would be amazed what's out there in the wild galaxy. This planet's only a pebble in the grand scheme of things, Inko. But back what I was saying. I ultimately invade this world. It's not a matter of if I can, it's a matter of when I can. The fate of this world has already been decided. Once I shrink a good number of human cities, for my personal collection, I will siphon the planet's natural resources until this planet is nothing but a husk. Then I will eradicate the planet nothing but space particles. But you don't have to share the fate of your species. Inko's eyes widen. She knows that this villain was plotting something dangerous, but she never thought his goal would be this, a complete obliteration of this planet. And the lucky ones would be shrunken into the cities to add to his collection. Managed to catch a glimpse of Deku's reflection off the glass from the window. She could see Deku's eyes are glowing a bright green the entire time they've been talking. I don't entirely hate your species. If I did, I would have only shrunken one city, then cleansed this planet in a worldwide genocide. Only saving factor stopping me from doing so is all of your humans' genetic traits that you call quirks. Inko laughed nervously. Of course, that's our saving grace. It's quirks. As Inko said that last part with irritation. I'm very aware how arrogant your species is when it comes to your abilities. Deku turned to face Inko. Inko gave out a sigh. What guarantee can I get for the safety of my daughter? You have my word, no harm will come to you or your daughter. If you wish, after I'm done with this world, I will place you on any livable planet. I'll even place you on Earth, where the other humans live. Very well, I agree. As she shook Deku's hand. She's clearly not an idiot. What she's seen him do terrifies her. She likes the kid, but he's still incredibly terrifying. Normally, she would not believe what he just said. But Inko's been in his mind, and she knows for certain he's not a human. The human mind is definitely recognizable, but once she entered his mind, there was no similarities to any human she's been in contact with their mind. There's one thing she knows. This villain will do what he says. He seems to be the type. Out of curiosity, I didn't know any information about the other villain group. And I'm not talking about the Yakuzas. Inko's expression turned serious. I'm very familiar with that group. They've been causing my people some trouble for quite some time now. We're currently in a turf war with them. Perfect. I was on my way to kill them anyway, so what's the plan? What? Inko. I might be a superior being from outer space, but this is your territory. I'm only passing by. I have no interest in taking control from you or any other villain group. So I'll follow your plan, whatever plan you might have. Inko had one of her people guide Deku and his comrade, Dabi, to one of the guest rooms in the underground bunker base. Once they left, Izumi walked through the secret entrance in the room. That was interesting. Are you sure it was wise, Mother, to get involved with that villain? He is either batshit crazy, or the more scary outcome is he's telling the truth. There's one thing I know about him, daughter. He's telling the truth. What would you have me do, daughter? Say no to the overpowered, dangerous alien that could easily kill us all? He's clearly overpowered, dangerous, and clearly shows no sympathy when it comes to killing. You do bring up a good point, Mother. As long as me and you are safe, Mom, I don't really care what happens. It would be very unwise to cross him. I would have to agree with you there. To do such a thing would be suicidal and idiotic. He would have killed us without a second thought. As they got back to their room, Dobby leaned against the wall. Do you think we can trust them? No, of course not. I don't trust anyone. Trust is earned, not given out like candy. But that doesn't mean we should make enemies out of them. If it can be prevented. Even if this alliance doesn't go according to plan, if they try anything, I'll kill them. But until then, we'll act accordingly. And with that woman's knowledge of this mysterious villain group, it will make our job a little bit easier. I expect things to get bloody. Now you're talking my language, boss. I can't wait. As Dobby gives his boss a devilish grin, that's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Judge by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.